Another day, another heat record is set. Full forecast coming up. NBC Palm Springs at 5 begins now.
Now, connecting the valley, this is NBC Palm Springs at 5.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Mark Mester. Let's get right to tonight's top story. Tonight, the Palm Springs Police Department unveiled a new plan to ensure traffic safety in busy areas like Highway 111. Our Brett Rosen joins us live outside the Palm Springs Police headquarters tonight with all the information. Brett.
Mark, it's called Operation Desert Zero, meaning zero tolerance for reckless driving. CHP and Palm Springs Police Department officials telling me all this is about ensuring the safety of pedestrians who walk and ride their bike. Take a look. Palm Springs police officials say some of the hot spots for the most vehicle accidents are right on Highway 111. So for Operation Desert Zero, this would be the area the new program would oversee to keep the roads safe. Is traffic safety the #1 concern here for Palm Springs and its residents?
It is one of the biggest concerns for sure.
Jason Lamb, a sergeant for the Palm Springs Police Department's traffic division, says the idea for increased patrol and education for traffic safety came after a casualty with a vehicle versus pedestrian incident that happened back in January. And now, only 2 weeks into the new project, Sergeant Lamb says he's already seen the effects.
Last Friday, we had a red light enforcement operation where we used drones to catch people running red lights and gave multiple citations.
Sergeant Lamb says they are focused on hot spots for traffic violations in Palm Springs. And now the agency is collaborating with the California Highway Patrol to create a zero-tolerance environment for reckless driving.
There's portions of their city that experience a high level of crashes and a high level of traffic violations. So they asked us to go out there, use our patrol to be able to hopefully reduce these crashes and violations.
When unveiling Operation Desert Zero, the Palm Springs Police Department put out a social media video. In it, they had Mark DeAngelis, the president of the Palm Springs Front Runners and Walkers, a club which he says has about 470 members who walk, run, and bike ride.
We're very happy to partner with the police department to make our roads safer.
Sergeant Lamb says Operation Desert Zero is equally educational as much as it is enforcement. So he says he hopes this new project will make drivers think before they act irresponsibly.
Before you grab your phone, just think maybe I should pull over and stop to grab my phone or your hands-free device. Same thing with the red lights. Hey, maybe I should just stop and wait for this red light before I pull through, just to make the street safer.
Something that Sergeant Lamb also mentioned is that pedestrians can help themselves out too by just making sure that they follow the rules of the road, whether that is walking when it's a crosswalk, and also when you're riding your bike, stay in the bike lane. Live in Palm Springs, I'm Brett Rosen. I'll send it back in studio to Mark and Olivia.
Brett, thank you for that report tonight. ICE agents are being deployed to airports across the country as a partial government shutdown continues. The move comes after President Donald Trump said the deployment is being done to help speed up security lines across the country. Some airports have seen hours of delays due to TSA officers calling out or quitting amid that ongoing partial shutdown. Mostly airports in major metropolitan cities are seeing agents today. Officials say they will prioritize the longest lines across the country. But here in the Coachella Valley, a representative for Palm Springs International Airport confirming that travel is, quote, running smoothly with no ICE personnel deployed and security lines moving quickly. They followed that confirmation by also saying, quote, we will continue monitoring the situation closely and staying in contact with our federal partners. PSP will keep our community informed if anything changes, but for now, travelers can continue to expect the smooth, easy experience they rely on when flying PSP.
We have a heads up tonight for anyone driving through La Quinta. Crews with the Imperial Irrigation District have closed off lanes on Avenue 52. It's for underground utility work. The closure is near the intersection of Jefferson Street. It's expected to only impact one lane on the roadway until April 3rd. Officials say delays are most likely expected during peak morning and afternoon commute hours. No timeline for specific work hours was given.
And a heads up, if you plan to go through Palm Springs aerial tramway this week to beat the heat, the tram will be shut down for scheduled maintenance on Tuesday. According to tramway officials, the closure is needed to shorten counter haul ropes on the tram carts. They say this is needed several months after a new rope is installed due to stretching that occurs over time. But they do expect the attraction to reopen on Wednesday, which I'm sure will be very popular this week.
Let's take a break from the headlines and get a check on tonight's forecast. Live pictures right now from our Agua Caliente casino camera high above right there in Rancho Mirage. We're going to send things over to our Pablo Alsina. And Pablo, 94 degrees, we'll take that compared to what we were dealing with last week.
Without a doubt. I mean, it's 5 o'clock and we're in the mid-90s. Last week we were at 104 at this time, so it definitely got cooler. But this might be the coldest day of the week. We're going to go right back up to 100 degrees. Currently 94 degrees. No rain expected in the next 10 days minimum. And temperatures around you see still pretty hot. Indio at 95, Palm Springs at 94. We also did set a record for heat today, but it's nice to see 90s again and not just 100-degree plus temperatures like we had been seeing. And the dew point's pretty high though, 46, so it does feel a little bit heavier than normal. We're also not going to cool off that much. At 11 o'clock at night, we'll still be around 81 degrees. And it's not that windy. Winds just 9 miles an hour in Palm Springs, 10 miles an hour in Whitewater. And our 3-day comfort air forecast, like I said, today might be the coldest day of the week. We're going to go right back up to 99 tomorrow. Wednesday up to 100. Thursday 103. So you can expect 100 degrees plus the rest of the week. But I'll be back for my 7-day forecast to explain that a bit more. Back over to Olivia.
All right, Pablo, thank you for that. Well, more than a year after a deadly incident in Indio took the life of a beloved local nurse, her family is still waiting for their day in court. Our Alondra Campos joins us live in studio tonight with the latest details on this case. Alondra?
Family and friends of JFK Memorial Hospital registered nurse Annabelle Sanchez showed up in court today for what was supposed to be a pretrial hearing in Sanchez's case. But instead, that hearing was pushed back yet again. We spoke to Annabelle's family and friends just moments after as they continue to push for accountability in this case. Of course, People versus Abraham Neil Seidman, stemming from a deadly accident in Indio back in January of 2025. Now, according to Annabelle's daughter, Marilyn Meraz, Annabelle was crossing the sidewalk that connects the Indio Larson Justice Center to the John Benoit Detention Center when she was fatally struck by a vehicle on January 10th, the same crosswalk where her memorial still stands. Today, Marilyn, along with close family, friends, and her mother's co-workers, showed up to court expecting to attend the pretrial hearing, but instead they were met with another setback, a rescheduling to June 1st. Annabelle Sanchez worked as a nurse at the JFK Memorial Hospital and John Benoit Detention Center, touching countless lives along the way. We also reached out to Seidman's attorney, Kenneth Kahn, who tells us that, open quote, Mr. Seidman wishes to express his condolences to the Sanchez family, her loved ones, and friends for the loss of their Annabelle. Mr. Seidman has been cooperative with Indio Police Department and the Riverside County District Attorney's Office from the beginning. Our view is that Ms. Sanchez's tragic death is a horrible accident and not a crime, end quote. Now, according to court records, Seidman pled not guilty to 1 count of vehicular manslaughter without gross negligence on February 13th. And the defense attorney has requested law enforcement body-worn camera evidence as the case continues. Now, the next court date is set for June 1st at 10:30 a.m. at the Indio Larson Justice Center, and we'll keep you updated with the latest details on this case. Live in studio, I'm Alondra Campos. Back to you.
Alondra, thank you for that. Turning to more local news this evening, 11 Coachella Valley seniors are being recognized for their impact on the community this week. We're talking about the 34th annual Senior Inspiration Awards luncheon. It takes place this coming Friday over at the Grand Hyatt Indian Wells Conference Center. This event honors local seniors for their volunteerism and dedication to making a difference across the valley. And each honoree will also donate $1,000 to a charity of their choice, continuing their commitment to giving back.
The David H. Ratty Dog Park in Palm Springs has now closed for temporary maintenance and hydro seeding. It will remain closed through May 15th. City officials say the upgrades will additionally ensure long-term durability of the park's grass areas, including turf restoration. But in the meantime, Palm Springs will have 2 pop-up dog park replacements. That's at Ruth Hardy Park off Tamarisk Road and Sunrise Park off Pavilion Way.
Coming up next year on this Monday evening, the Palm Desert Chamber of Commerce is gearing up for its latest networking event. We've got that story ahead.
Plus, national champions on their way back to the desert following an incredible performance over the weekend in the state of hockey. We've got that coming up, so stay with us.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 5.
Welcome back. Local businesses and city leaders are coming together to strengthen connections across our community. It's happening during an upcoming wine tasting event at the Gardens on El Paseo. Kai Beach has the story on how it's creating new opportunities across the valley.
I was joking. I like it.
At LaFay Wine Bar in Palm Desert, owner Herman is passionate about pouring great wine.
Very clean and crisp.
And also supporting other local businesses.
That should bring all of us a lot of business, chamber and us.
And as a member of the Palm Desert Area Chamber of Commerce, Herman is helping promote an upcoming wine tasting event called Uncorked in Palm Desert.
We're mixer professionals. This is just like taking it to the next level, you know, where you get to drink all this awesome wine and mingle, talk about business, and have something fun to do for the community.
Chamber members say this event brings local entrepreneurs together to network, spark new conversations, and support each other.
We're going to have over 20 different vendors and more than 100 different wines you can sample. And it's to raise funds for the Chamber of Commerce, which we will then be able to use to invest back into the community for our business growth and development.
This wine tasting is happening Saturday, April 4th at the Gardens on El Paseo. It's offering a chance for residents and business leaders to mingle, all while celebrating local wine and the businesses that help our desert thrive.
So I'm pouring the Masvino Chardonnay, one of my own.
I'm Kai Beach with NBC Palm Springs.
Our thanks to Kai for that. Modernism Week continues to prove its global impact, drawing more than 111,000 attendees to this year's 11-day event across Greater Palm Springs. Event organizers say the 2026 festival generated an estimated $62 million in economic impact, bringing its total contribution to more than $560 million over the past 2 decades. The event featured nearly 500 programs, including architectural tours, lectures, films, and workshops, highlighting the region's iconic modernist design. Officials say the festival also continues to invest in the future, awarding scholarships to local students pursuing careers in architecture as well as design.
We've got a live look outside for you from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. Hot this week, but not quite as hot as last week. Pablo's tracking your 7-day forecast coming up right after the break, so stay with us.
Happy Monday. I am Pablo Alcina. Look at the Walter Clark Cam live shot. Beautiful day, and it's so nice to see at least some clouds kind of calming the sun down a bit. Also, not much wind. And for the first time in 10 days, we didn't set a record. This was from yesterday. Palm Springs set a record at 101. All these cities had set records. We had set records 9 out of the last 10 days. So did we set a record today? No. Just 94 degrees. Have to love that. 98, the record back in 1956, but don't get used to it. We'll be back up to 100 in the next 2 days for the next 7 days. High temperatures around. Palm Desert got up to 96. Indio at 97, but so nice to not see 100s anywhere. It was definitely a lot cooler today, but look at Cabazon, pretty toasty for them at 94 degrees, and it won't cool off that much at nighttime. 6 p.m. will still be at 92. By midnight in the 70s, which is nice. Last week we were still in the 90s sometimes at midnight, so it's definitely gone cooler, but like I said, we will be heating up. As far as winds, Whitewater will get windy on Wednesday between 20 and 29 miles an hour. Between 10 to 19 for other parts of Desert Hot Springs, but not till Wednesday or Thursday. Most other areas under 10 miles an hour. Low temperatures tonight will be in the low 70s again. So go out, check out the stars, the next full moon in 9 days. And our 7-day comfort air forecast, like I said, enjoy these cool temperatures of 94 degrees because by Wednesday, right back up to 100. Thursday, 103, as hot as possibly 105. That high pressure system is going to finally move our way. And next week, we should start seeing cooler temperatures. But this week, we'll be right back into the 100s. But it's Monday, so smile, energy people, and keep it here on NBC Palm Springs.
NBC Palm Springs Sports with Tim O'Brien, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
Oh, welcome back. A national championship coming home to the Coachella Valley. Desert Christian Academy went to Minnesota and finished on top. A few weeks ago, the mission and plan headed to the Nationals, well, it was simple.
I think this team's just a lot, humble. There's no cocky guys on this team. We just love playing the sport we love and hopefully making everyone else that's watching it happy.
It's a journey that brings talent from all over the world right here to the Coachella Valley. Now, Palm Springs Hockey Academy, the program completed their first season of existence as the best 3A program in the country. Now, Desert Christian beat Nest Hockey out of Florida 3-1. It was Jack Barkholtz who found the back of the net first in the second period. And then, of course, Desert Christian never looked back. Gavin Gillis and Carson Summers completed the scoring. So congratulations to DCA. Now, the Firebirds took care of business this weekend in Colorado, winning the back-to-back. It was a statement weekend for the Birds as they continue to climb the Pacific Division standings. Colorado, the second-place team in the division. Sunday's 4-3 win came off the stick of Olympian Oscar Fisker-Molgaard, who's been just a different player since his return from Milan. OFM had 2 goals and 2 assists on Sunday for 4 points. Now the Firebirds will return home Wednesday for a 4-game homestand this week. Puck drop at 6:30. I know Mark mentioned this yesterday, but I just want to reiterate my thanks. I had an honor of being asked to play and MC a portion of the military appreciation golf outing at Ironwood Country Club yesterday in Palm Desert. Over 100 service men and women attended the day. That was really all about them. A great lunch and dinner served with beautiful course conditions for golf. All branches represented: Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Coast Guard, and Space Force. Each song played to the attention of its members. Certainly one of my favorite days of the year. I had the honor of playing with Rich Gannon, NFL MVP and 17-year vet. Just as good a golfer as he was a football player. Hit the ball a mile, and our group went bogey-free, so that's always good. And that'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
All right, well, thanks to Tim for that. Turning to some entertainment headlines tonight. 6 years ago, Ryan Gosling received a copy of an unpublished science fiction novel. That book is now a bestseller, and the film adaptation starring Gosling himself is #1 at the box office. David Daniel has a preview.
I understand that you think I'm the right person for this mission. I understand the stakes.
Object approaching.
If we do nothing, everything on this planet will go extinct, including us.
Ryan Gosling and Sandra Hüller star in Project Hail Mary, based on the novel by The Martian author Andy Weir.
It felt like it had all of the makings to be one of those core memory movies that we grew up with, one of those sort of films that you remember where you were when you saw it.
It is so full of surprises and twists and humanity, and we can learn so many things, and it has so many wonderful characters.
I'm gonna call you Rocky. We're here for the same reason. His son is dying too.
The Martian screenwriter Drew Goddard also tackled Project Hail Mary.
This book is just much more ambitious and difficult, both in terms of its spectacle, but also in terms of its internal characterization and emotional arcs. It's just a much more complicated story.
It felt like an impossible mission to make this movie because it's so complicated, it's so ambitious. You go to another galaxy, you make best friends with an alien, and you save the world. And it's not bad for a Friday night, but that's a tall order.
There are infinite possibilities for this to go wrong.
This ship wasn't built for this.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, before we go, Riverside County pets are healthier than ever for National Adoption Week because of a $25,000 grant from PetSmart Charities. They'll be available to say hi on March 27th at the PetSmart on Monterey Avenue in Palm Desert from 10 to 2. All adoption fees will be waived. That includes spay and neuter services, vaccines, microchipping, and engraved ID tags. Officials say last year over 260 pets found homes through the partnership with PetSmart. So that's really great. You know, it's another great fundraising idea, I think, Pablo. We need to auction off some of your amazing pet paintings.
Well, Hamlet is Mark's dog, and Mark adopted him. So thank you, Mark, for adopting Hamlet. And check out, I had to paint little Hamlet because he's an amazing dog,
That's
almost as beautiful
incredible.
as my dog.
Very talented.
So there you go. If you adopt a dog and you let me know, I'll paint him for you. But adopt a dog.
It's an amazing gesture. We're back at 6. Nightly News is next.